welcome back to Daily Encouragements. We haven't been together for years. No, we haven't been together for a couple of weeks.
We've been separated.
Been going through a marriage problem, and so we thought we'd do a quick daily together. But the honest truth is, we have no idea what we're going to be talking about.
No. Do you have an idea? Hello.
Honestly, quite honestly, I'm feeling very tired at the moment. Been working hard this week. Had a great delay on Monday, but it set me back. And then I've had some odd things that have been happening this week in terms of weird requests and weird issues that have come up that I've had to solve and put energy into. So I'm quite tired. I don't have a lot of reserves at the moment. I woke up this morning tired. That's how bad it was. So
you've been just going and going and going. I've hardly seen you this week.
Is that why you're looking so happy?
So I'm maximizing this time together.
But you've been feeling like you need people.
Yeah, because I'm usually at home with Sammy, and I'm an introvert. I like being on my own, but every now and again I will get this urge of energy where I need to go and spend time with people. But it doesn't last long, and then I need to get back to myself.
So I've been saying to Bonnie, please stop messaging me, because I get like 8 messages. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like, stop talking to me. I'm busy. It was like
felt like
400. It's like, you need to go and get some friends. Leave me alone.
So if you want to be my friend, then just
comment
below, like, subscribe. I'll be your friend.
It's like the cheapest manipulation to get friends.
I'll make it worth it, alright?
I'll send you a video every day.
Come and do a video with me.
So we've been talking about pressure, and Bonnie, since the beginning, we've actually done over 50 of these daily things. Not exclusively just us, but we've done one every day for 50 days. It's like Pentecost.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you haven't listened to podcast 7, that just dropped today as well, so go and have a listen to that. But from almost the very beginning, Bonnie's wanted to be doing like dailies, like a little series on marriage.
Yes, because I think we personally have walked through a lot in our marriage. We're still married, thank the Lord. And I think I'm
thinking all the stupid comments I can say.
I think what we've walked through is probably very similar to what other people walk through.
No, I don't think so. I think
Maybe
what we've walked through is what many people have encountered but not walked through.
True.
They're probably still in.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have faced it or experienced but haven't known maybe what to do. But I often think that's what sparked it off. The other day I said to you, I was looking at someone on Instagram. I don't know them well, but I said, this man has a beautiful wife. And I said, does a man really stay with a woman just because she's beautiful? Even though he's really unhappy. And so we were talking about happiness in marriage, and is that possible? Is that true?
Is it possible?
And you were saying, I don't think anyone's happy.
No. I can say with absolute integrity, there's not one marriage on the planet I've ever encountered that I think is a happy marriage in the classical, idealistic way. And I'm sure, and if anyone's married here, it's not a personal thing. It's not you probably got the best marriage in the world, blah, blah, blah. But I just genuinely, in my own experience, I've never looked at any single marriage, including my own parents, where I thought, oh, I would love that marriage.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because we've been influenced by Hollywood, and we've got this rosy-glassed view of it, or maybe I'm just too pessimistic, but it's a tough thing.
It is.
It's a horrific thing.
It is, but Hollywood, because I came into this marriage believing Hollywood. I loved the romantic movies, and that was my expectation for marriage, which is terrible. That's not what it is. But what I get so annoyed about is on Facebook and Instagram is all these people saying, I love you, my sweetie, and you're the best. And that's great, but where's the real stuff? Where's the, we walk through hell today, I don't know how to cope with this situation, my wife's doing this, my husband's doing this. Where are those stories? Because
people with those stories don't have time for Facebook.
Yeah, they're working too hard.
Yeah.
But I think with what we've walked through, which we'd love to share more about, you know, we walked through hell, and at times it was incredibly lonely. And in those times, I think I wish I could have grasped onto something or someone else's experience to help me through that, because I felt blinded. I felt I didn't know what to do. Like, there was, like you said, you can't see one happy marriage or one marriage you would want. There was no one. That sounds terrible. But there was,
just say what you feel.
Like, I couldn't go, okay, that person I can go to and they can help me through the marriage. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I had people help me. There were people in our lives that truly, genuinely helped me and saved our marriage, saved me.
Helped you to make decisions that would save your marriage.
Yes. And that, if I didn't have that, then I think, well, I know we wouldn't be married, to be honest.
Yeah, it was unlikely we were going to stay married if things stayed the same.
And I think for me is, I went into marriage with a lot of issues, lots of insecurities.
Like all of us do.
Which I wasn't really aware of, and then it was highlighted in the marriage. And I put a lot of expectation on Sean, when actually those expectations were things that I needed to take responsibility for. But the one thing that stood out to me in all the chaos that was going on is, in the Bible it says, for wives to submit to your husbands as you do unto God. And what stood out was the wives have to act first. It was wives submit, and then husbands love your wife. And so often I got caught in the trap of, when my husband does the right thing, or when he apologizes, or when he does that, then I will do my part. And I was waiting for Sean, and actually I got revelation in that time that actually I needed to take responsibility. I had to, no matter what Sean did, if he didn't change, or...
Which I was perfect, by the way.
Yeah, of course, honey,
Yes, darling.
So I had to take responsibility and change my thinking and my patterns and my issues, regardless of you.
Yeah.
And then you do whatever you need to do, because I came into the marriage not whole. And I think that's the problem, is a lot of people go into marriage trying to find something, trying to get completed. And that is such a trap, it's such a lie.
It's impossible. Impossible to complete another person.
Yeah.
It's not scriptural, it's just not humane.
It's not, and it's not fair.
You can't put an expectation on any other human, even if it's your mother, your wife, your husband, your child, for them to complete you.
No,
you've got to take personal responsibility.
Because the thing is, you can't complete me. As wonderful as you are, and perfect.
What's my purpose in life then?
You literally cannot complete me. We can be an amazing team, and we can do stuff, but you can definitely not complete me.
That's right.
And
I can compliment you, but I can't complete you.
I can have moments of happiness, but that's not true happiness. I had to literally deal with my rubbish in my life.
Yeah. And I had to deal with my rubbish because I was exposed. I had to deal with my rubbish because it was like the perfect storm. Your rubbish like joined onto mine and made a compounded mess.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't confront you, and I wouldn't fight you, and I wouldn't do certain things because I just had the perfect cracks in my life that complemented your cracks, and it was hell.
It was. And talking about pressure is, you see it a lot in marriages where the husband becomes this coward, and he comes under the pressure of the wife, and he becomes this weak, pathetic person, And that what you were that you were that initially. Get the slap noise out. But you had to man up because I'm a strong person. I'm opinionated.
Well, first of all, you gave me permission to man up.
No,
No, I didn't have any permission. I had to.
Sean had to
fight.
He had to fight for it. But I think a lot of marriages, men in general, come under the pressure or the manipulation of the wife. I was manipulating Sean. I was trying to control him. I was terrible. When I think back to, I'm embarrassed that I was even like that.
I'm embarrassed that I let that happen.
Yeah.
I don't know where my background is. I look at some of the things that happen, and we'll plan this out and script it all. This is completely unscripted. We're just talking. But and we've got nothing to hide because we've walked through this. We've come to the other side of the valley of the shadow of death, and now we have no evil to fear because we've been through. We've been through it. I forgot what I was saying. But
you were being so nice.
I was so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed to this day about some of the things that I let happen, and the thing that I allowed myself to become.
But I think you had there was a good expectation in you, and so maybe you didn't believe it all at first. Like when I would do certain things, you were like, "But this isn't the Bonnie I know."
Yeah, and it wasn't the Bonnie I expected.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was. I remember 3 months in a marriage, I was walking down the road going, God, what is going on? I have no idea what's happening. And I remember before we got married, I asked God. I said, God, tell me, is this the one I'm supposed to marry? And I wasn't like this guy who had lots of girlfriends and went out a lot and all the rest. I had one previous girlfriend, and so when I got together with Bonnie, I'm like, God, should I get married? Is this the woman? And I remember distinctly saying, Sean, it's your choice. You've got to make the choice. And when I made the choice, I felt a confirmation, and I got all the words, and actually I had the words even before I met you, blah, 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 all that stuff. But I remember distinctly in that moment, I remember exactly where I was, where to ask God, and he said, you've got to make the choice. So 3 months into marriage, all hell's breaking loose. I don't know what's going on, and I remember saying to God, I don't know what to do, what's happened. It's the woman you gave me. I can't, and that's exactly Adam's words about Eve. It's the woman you gave me. And I remember God looking down at me almost in a violent, aggressive defense of his own nature. And he said, no, Sean, do you not remember? I gave you the choice. And I instantly felt the weight of responsibility for my own life. I made that choice. God didn't make that choice for me and then lead me down a bad path and then do horrible things to me. I made that choice. Yeah. And then I was praying in the same sequence of saying, okay, God, well, I need your hand in the situation. I need your hand in the situation. You need to do something. And God said to me, Sean, you are my hand in the situation.
Very good.
And I'm going to empower you to walk through hell, through the valley of the shadow of death, and that you'll come out the other side stronger. Your marriage will come out this other side stronger. Bonnie will come out stronger. And it was a long road. It wasn't all bad, but there was certainly some horrific moments in our soul where we thought we were going to break up.
No, it was very
like break up in our
intense.
soul. Like obviously the surface would have been we broke up.
Yeah. No, it was incredibly intense, and I remember someone years ago said, I'm going to go to Hong Kong and I'm going to experience such great sadness.
This person saying to you.
Saying to me.
Yeah.
And it's like all these years later, like that, those were some of the saddest, most depressing, terrifying.
Daily encouragements.
But now we can look back, and I'm grateful, as hellish as it was, I'm grateful for every moment, because we faced real stuff and we built foundations that will last forever.
Yeah.
And I don't want this like surface level marriage. I want to walk through all the kinds of stuff and come out stronger for it.
Yeah.
We have substance, and it's not like I used to think, oh, Sean, buy me flowers. And I had to wake up and go, it's not about flowers, but I had to look at what does he value and what is special to him. Like sometimes he'll come home and give me a chocolate or he'll do something funny.
I'm trying to say food special to me.
But that's like the flowers, you know. You have to change your perspective and the way you look at certain things, because it's not all how you think it should be. Do you know what I mean?
I think so. Do you give me permission to know what you mean?
Buy me chocolates. Buy me more. No.
So if there's anything you get out of this waffle that we're trying to wade through is you can go through dark times, you can go through hellish times, you can go through times where you don't know how you're going to handle the next moment, where even the most idyllic, supposed to be romantic on the surface of it, the Hollywood picture, the reality starts to kick in and it starts to hurt you. And you have to deal with your own self, and you have to deal with the partner. You have to deal with all that disappointment and that delusion that you were in.
Yeah.
But if you just stick at it, if you just stay in the game, if you just try and find God's word for those moments, He will bring you through.
Yeah.
And He will bring you to a place where you'll actually treasure those hard moments and those difficult times.
Yeah.
Because He'll bring you to a whole new understanding and foundation and freshness through that stuff, that you'll actually be so empowered you could look back at those hard times and go, I'm thankful I came through that.
Yeah.
And right. God doesn't bring bad things to your doorstep. He doesn't try and punish you or discipline you with evil, bad things, but He does help you through bad things.
Yeah.
And I think marriage is probably one of the most influential, for the lack of a better word, institutions, one of the most influential covenants on the planet. And it's the thing that I think has had the most deterioration come against it. And it's been one of the weakest representations of what we're supposed to be living in. Yeah. And I think if you can get that marriage thing right, you can get anything else right, because marriage is probably the most difficult.
It highlights everything in your life, good and bad.
Yeah.
And marriage, it should be powerful. It should be incredible, because with Adam, he said man shouldn't be alone, and then he created Eve. And there should, I think marriage has been watered down to just a romantic getaway or a cute little, date night.
If you think it's that, then you're in trouble.
So we want to be able to talk about this in more depth, but really go into the substance of it, like the deep things, not all the surface rubbish.
So we hope that encourages you.
Yeah.
If you're not married, don't rush into it. Don't rush into it. You gotta be so
take your time.
Take your time. Don't rush it. You gotta be so
wisely.
And if you are married, hopefully we'll produce this pretty soon, or record it pretty soon, and get something that's a little bit more coherent, a little bit more shaped, so it can be of some value.
Yeah.
But
also, I don't mean to sound like a YouTuber, but honestly, if there are questions, comment and ask us questions, or if you want to hear about certain things, because this is a subject we're passionate about. It's real, we've walked through it, and I'm sure you have stories too that you could share as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get too much hate, because we've got a very traditional understanding of marriage, and there's been some pretty harsh things that have happened in it. But quite frankly, spousal abuse.
You didn't.
Quite frankly, we just got to be real, and whether we're right or wrong, we just got to be real with where we are. We don't want to put anything fake out there.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't get any backlash. But if we do,
that's fine.
We got big boy pants. We can wear them. Hope that encourages you.
Marriage on.
What? Bye. What the hell?
Put a ring on it.